emotion is the driving force for behaviors. The tricky thing about emotion is it's kind of invisible. I mean, it's kind of visible too when it actually shoots out and we hold it in. And especially at work, we try to like hold it in. The thing is, with emotions, it's like holding fart. You can hold it for a certain time, but at some point something will trigger it and it will come out. With another person, it's like a dance. We try to dance together, and then because emotion is kind of invisible, and sometimes we step on the toes of the other person, and then if the other person doesn't tell us and they don't show, how will we know? Like, how will we know we're causing pain for the other person? Especially at work, a lot of times it's not people are mean, people really try to make life difficult for you. They don't know you are suffering. Right? And when we have tough conversations, the very difficult thing is to start an argument, is to start a fight, start a war. And if we have judgments, we will start a war. And I came up with this graph. Tough conversation, two people, and then here's a no man's zone. And inside there are bombs. So try not to go there. I think the fundamental thing is to make it non-disputable. Make your statement absolutely non-disputable. And when we make things non-disputable, we have to say it with truth, like absolute truth. First thing is feelings. When we say how we feel, nobody can come and dispute that. I feel fear. I feel excluded, I feel dismissed. Sometimes we say, I feel, but actually we're saying, I think. So, for example, I feel you are wrong. That's not a feeling, that's a judgment. Or I feel you shouldn't have said that. That's not a feeling. And the second one is this one, Brene Brown wrote an entire book about, which is the tiny sentence, but if we add that little sentence in front of what we're going to say to the other person, it makes a whole world of difference. And that sentence is the story I tell. If we will have a tough conversation, we confront them, I sent you this text, you didn't reply me for a day. The story I tell myself is you didn't care about me. And then it's much easier for the other person to swallow and to say, I'm sorry I didn't reply you, but my mom is in the hospital, or my phone got stolen. Then it's much easier for them to explain it without jumping up like, who said I don't care about you? It's your own insecurity. And then the fight starts. The third one is say what we really want. I think this one is a lot of training and a lot of self-awareness, and when we're worked up, it's hard to realize that ourselves. Because sometimes we can feel like the pull request is not necessary, and then turn out to be, I want an apology for this other thing you have done. And then if we ask for the thing we actually want, then it's easier to get it, right? Because we go and argue about right or wrong, should or shouldn't. It's on that layer, it's not on this layer, and then you may not get what you want in the end. And if you just say, I want an apology, you probably would have gotten it way earlier. Those are the three, I think, most important strategies. Two things that stays in the way of actually taking the plunge and have the courage to take the first step and go to the other person and say, hey, can we talk? And one is the misbelief that vulnerability is weakness. Vulnerability, by definition, is to take risks, face uncertainty, and the emotional exposure. Those things, they are the only measurement of courage. When we go and have tough conversations, we'll be really, really courageous and brave. And another thing is clear is unkind, and we think we are not taking the difficult conversation because we are making the other person comfortable. we're being kind, but we're not really being kind because we dance around the truth. The only person we're making it easy for is ourselves. And we are not getting long-term comfort. We just get this short-term, a little bit like, I'm not gonna do this. And then we can have a Cold War for a month and not look into each other's eyes. In the end, we are doing this for ourselves. Right? We spend more time at work every day than with most of our friends and even than families. So we can have better relationships at work. Our lives get much better. And the most important thing, when we take the plunge and have tough conversations, every time we feel so proud of ourselves, every single time. Thank you.